Hello and welcome to Take on Tech. Being your number one show, we bring you nothing but the best. And today, we have a lot lined up for you from tech news, tech of the week, and Grace Githaiga will be coming on board with some great conversation in Tech Talk. So you want to stay put and let everyone know that Take on Tech has begun. My name is Ayieta and the hashtag to use is Take on Tech.
Cryptocurrency, I don't know. I've never come across that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency, I've heard of it somewhere, but I didn't go so much into it. Maybe I guess it's something to do with the currency trade, stuff to do with like Bitcoin and what is this stuff called? Forex trade stuff. It's about selling currencies like dollars. You wait the time they hike, you go and sell dollars now. You buy when the price is low, and you wait when the price hikes, you go and sell them.
Well, to me, it's kind of a fictional concept of money. I have some money invested in it, but not much, and in general, I don't believe it much.
Cryptocurrency, I can't know the exact meaning, but I think currency has something to do with money. Yeah.
Cryptocurrency is a very important topic, but as you have seen, very few people know about it. That is why we're going to give you highlights of all you need to know about cryptocurrency in our subsequent shows. But before that, we still want to know your opinion. What is cryptocurrency? Talk to us, answer this question, tell us all you think it is at KBC Channel 1 using the hashtag #TakeOnTech. So you do that as we take you to the tech news. In tech news, we tell you of the giant cryptocurrency that collapsed last year and how it has managed to recover $5 billion of its assets. I'm talking about FTX. And locally, we tell you of a Kenyan fintech company, that is Quara, which has managed to acquire Cusco subsidiary. This and much more in our tech news roundup. Collapsed cryptocurrency exchange FTX has allocated more than $5 billion of assets. This is what an attorney of the firm says. However, a U.S. bankruptcy court was told that the extent of losses to customers is still unknown. Mr. Date DeRich, an attorney, said that the recovered funds do not include assets seized by the Securities Commission of the Bahamas, where FTX was based and where Mr. Bankman-Fried was living at the time of his arrest. Prosecutors have accused FTX former chief executive Sam Bankman-Fried of orchestrating an epic fraud that may have cost investors, customers, and lenders billions of dollars. They accuse him of misappropriating FTX customers' fund to pay debts at his cryptocurrency trading firm Alameda Research and to make other investments. In December 2022, the prosecutors announced 8 criminal charges, including wire fraud, money laundering, and campaign finance violation. Financial regulators have also brought claims against Mr. Bankman-Fried. Mr. Bankman has pleaded not guilty to charges that he cheated investors. FTX co-founder Gary Wang and Caroline Ellison, the former head of Alameda, have also been charged over their alleged roles in the company's collapse. Authorities said that they were both cooperating with the investigation. Kenyan fintech company Quara has agreed to fully acquire software company Arnet Cooperative Kenya Limited, a subsidiary of the Kenyan Union of Saving and Credit Cooperative KUSCO Limited. This is as it seeks to further its banking software solutions and mobile banking channels in the country. Having acquired the subsidiary from KUSCO at an undisclosed amount, the firm also aims to increase the growth and sustainability of SACCOs. As part of this acquisition, Quara has also entered into an exclusive digital solution partnership agreement with KUSCO Limited. KUSCO's managing director, George Utoto, said both the partnership and acquisition agreement is a game changer in the management of SACCOs going forward. He added that the partnership will propel the growth of SACCOs through deposit mobilization and digital member acquisition while addressing key challenges currently facing them. This includes security concerns and the digital divide between SACCOs and their increasingly young digital savvy membership. Since its launch in 2019, Quara boasts over 120 SACCOs which have embraced the firm's core banking software as well as full digital banking channels including mobile, USSD, agency banking, ATM and international remittance. The firm therefore commits that the synergy between Quara and Arnet will explore capabilities that will create a long-lasting relationship to benefit and grow the entire SACCO sector in the country. In Tech of the Week, we have an interesting feature of floating solar farms at sea in Indonesia and how they're using this technology to harness power for her people living on shore. Check it out. Indonesia is a nation of more than 10,000 islands, so supplying the whole country with electricity is a huge challenge. More than 1 million people are not connected to the electricity grid at all. Solar power is one option to provide those islands with energy. It has become much cheaper in recent decades. The International Energy Agency says it is becoming the cheapest option for new electricity power plants. But solar farms take up a lot of space that might be better used for housing, farming, and business. So, scientists and engineers are working on ways to install solar panels on the ocean surface, providing power to those living onshore nearby. Floating solar is already in use at a number of sites around the world, but on lakes rather than the sea. The reason is obvious. Waves can easily swamp and damage solar panels. But research and testing is underway to find ways of keeping solar panels intact and working in rough water. The company says it will be the biggest offshore floating solar plant in the world, with the capacity to power a few hundred homes. The solar panels will sit on platforms raised several meters above the ocean surface. The plant, due to be operational in 2026, will use the existing cabling for the wind farm to send electricity back to the shore. Meanwhile, Ocean Sun has developed a floating rig where the solar panels rest on a base which flexes as the waves pass underneath. He says that as the panels are lying completely flat, the forces acting on them are diminished. Being close to the seawater also cools down the cells, which improves their performance. Both Ocean Sun and SolarDAC are looking at seating solar farms alongside wind turbines, which will smooth the flow of electricity when the wind is not blowing. Mr. Hung argues that both of these approaches have weaknesses. By lifting the panels above the surface of the sea, SolarDAC systems could be a more expensive solution. As for the Ocean Sun system, Mr. Hung is not convinced that the approach will sufficiently protect the panels from wave damage. Mr. Hung's team at Cranfield University is working on an alternative offshore solar plant, which he says will be robust and cheap. With academic and commercial partners in Indonesia, they hope to have a demonstration system in the Indian Ocean in 12 months' time called Solar 2 Wave. It will have a floating breakwater upstream of the solar panels, which he says has the effect of reducing wave height by about 90%. The reduced waves then travel through the buffer zone a small enclosed area of water, which further reduces the wave power before it hits the solar panels themselves. The key will be to keep the breakwater cheap. Any damage will be in the breakwater part, which is cheap and very easy to replace and maintain, Mr. Hang says. While the installation and maintenance cost of any ocean solar farm will be high, such farms will, in many cases, be the only way to supply renewable energy in some densely populated parts of the world. Solar farms could even be sited far out at sea, where they could serve as refueling points for electric ships. With all the challenges presented, I'm looking forward to see how this technology will work in the near future. You can tell us what you think about that. Meanwhile, let us move to the interview segment. Here's Tech Talk.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for that introduction. You're watching the interview section of Take on Tech, a weekly program that comes to you via KBC Channel 1. It breaks down technological concepts and debates in an un-tech way. Now, the issue of blood donation is real in this country. Every other day, we keep seeing appeals on newspapers, on radio, on social media, for people appealing for blood donation, this particular type of blood or that particular type of blood. So in today's section, we are going to be looking at a new technology known as Damu Sasa. What is Damu Sasa? What inspired it? And to speak to us about Damu Sasa, we have our
My name is Aaron Ogunde. I'm a co-founder of Damu Sasa. Damu Sasa is an end-to-end platform, digital platform, that gives hospitals the ability to interact with their patients and all other stakeholders in real time. And the main benefit is to help save patients' lives. We started with blood services information management. And if you look at the name Damu Sasa itself, it can be translated into English as blood now. What we wanted to achieve is to actually give patients the opportunity to have safe transfusions when they needed the transfusions done to save their lives. And as well, the other meaning we got from the name Damu Sasa is we're living in the year 2022 to 2023. So we thought that there is a way blood services must be run now, as opposed to how it was run a while back. And that is how we came up with the whole idea of Damu Sasa. The beneficiaries of Damu Sasa, the primary beneficiaries, are patients who need transfusions done. And this is especially mothers and children, because they account for about 60% of all the blood that is consumed in Kenya. And the other beneficiaries are, of course, what we refer to as the frontline healthcare workers who are within a hospital setup. So we're talking about the nurses, doctors, lab personnel, and these are the ones who coordinate together to make sure that blood is ready for transfusion on behalf of the patient. So those are our primary beneficiaries. The other beneficiaries we have as well are members of the public, because they're the ones who actually now come in to donate blood. And what we do is that we provide them with a platform as well to help them know, one, where they can go and donate blood. They can book an appointment to go and donate blood. They can receive their information or results after a blood donation appointment, and also gives them sort of an education, time to time education of facts that they can read on the go about the whole thing on blood donation, so that we help to demystify the whole practice that is known as blood donation in Kenya. So those are our three core beneficiaries when you look at Damu Sasa. The uptick has been really good on both sides, whether we're looking at members of the public or whether we're looking at the hospital setup. First and foremost, the one thing that you can only share on the app is information about you having donated. So it does not allow you to share, what your blood group is, for example, because that's a detail that is specific to an individual. So it only allows you to share the fact that you have actually gone through an exercise. And two, it only shares when you consent for it to share on your social media pages. So users have that degree of, to make a decision whether or not to share the information that they have actually gone through a blood donation exercise. Number two also is to look at the fact that we have credentials that allow a user to access a specific type of information within the application. So for example, you need a one-time password to log into your app, log into your account and see the blood donation activity that you've had. You cannot see the blood donation activity of someone else, even though there may be a close family member. So you can only see information that is specific to you as an individual. So that is one of the avenues that we're using to help protect data of the different blood donors or the different patients that we're actually helping support.
We'll continue with a conversation on Damu Sasa, a technology that helps users and hospitals to know where to secure blood, especially when they need somebody in need of it or when they need people to donate. So please continue watching us on all our social media handles, and that's at KBC Channel 1 across all our social media handles. Keep watching. We'll continue with a conversation on Damu Sasa, a technology that helps users and hospitals to know where to secure blood, especially when they need somebody in need of it or when they need people to donate. So please continue watching us on all our social media handles, and that's at KBC Channel 1 across all our social media handles. Keep watching.
There are trust issues, and I think that's the case in any tech startup nowadays. However, I believe one of the things we've done at Damu Sasa is be as open as possible with members of the public and show them how we take efforts to protect their data. And I would like to believe that that is working, because every day we see an increase in the number of appeals that are made on our app. One of the biggest challenges, especially looking at the blood donation space, is the blood donation culture within the country, which is not at an optimum level or where we would want it to be. And that then means that most people actually don't show up to donate as and when they should. And one of the biggest challenges in addition to that is the whole myths and misconceptions around blood donation. So we do get some are funny, some are laughable, myths about blood donation. We've had a case scenario where somebody said, oh, if I donate blood, then the person who ends up being the recipient of that blood will walk away with my inheritance or the blessing I would have gotten from my parents or my ancestors. And we try our best to actually inform through our technology these members of the public that is absolutely not the case. By donating blood, you actually help to save the life of a patient who may just end up being a relative or a mother. You never know. It could be you who's in a hospital bed and somebody else somewhere makes that decision to go and donate, and you end up receiving blood transfusion, and you end up having your life saved by somebody who was thinking to help save lives through a blood donation. So we work with a number of health experts to curate content that can then be consumed by members of the public in a bid to try and demystify this whole, monster that people think blood donation is. And I would say we've had quite some success in that space. We've seen, people in Turkana start donating blood when they were initially afraid to do so. We've seen the same in Bungoma. We've seen the same in Mombasa and other parts of the country. People actually looking at the material, and some people even reach out and say, "So I've read this on your, on your app, or I've read this on your website, and now I actually feel like I may make the decision." And so we then tell them, just go back to the app and check which is your nearest center for blood donation. And in case you should have any further questions, they will be effectively handled at that center. So that is one of the biggest challenges in the entire space. Not necessarily from a tech perspective, although what we're trying to do is to use tech to try and solve that challenge of myths and misconceptions around blood donation. This content is available across all our platforms. So one, it's available on our mobile app. So once you download the app, you have an entire section that just gives you facts around blood donation. When you go to our website, you also get the same facts about blood donation, plus also health reviews. These are articles that have been written by health experts in the field, and they tell you, facts that can be consumed even when you're in a matatu, when you're just chilling at home. You just get to see a quick 2-minute read about, what is donation all about. When I donate, what happens to my body? How do I recover? All that information is actually helpful, we've come to realize, in demystifying some of these myths around blood donation. And it also helps somebody to know, okay, when I donate, my body immediately starts regenerating the blood that I have donated. So it almost gives somebody that confidence that, hey, you're completely safe, you will be in safe hands. It's a very short process for blood donation. It's, you're in, the other minute you're out, going about your normal business. But what you also need to know is that you've helped save potentially 2 to 3 lives, because that 1 unit of blood can actually be aliquoted into different pediatric bags that would then be used or consumed by, different children, which means one person actually has the potential to save more lives, than just the one through a simple blood donation. One of the things I normally do when I get such an opportunity is to encourage and advise Kenyans, especially the young Kenyans, because they make up a considerable chunk of the population, to turn out more and donate blood, because those people who are in the wards,
just how important is blood in our community?
And expecting,
I think when you look at it before and after,
need us, and those are the people who are our parents. Some of them are our sisters, some of them are our brothers. So if we don't show up to donate, what we don't know is that we're dying slowly, little by little, just because you have refused to go and donate, yet you're completely eligible. Your body is perfectly fine. You're completely healthy. You're having a good diet. So there's no reason whatsoever for you to not go and donate blood. So I call upon, especially the youth, to go out and donate more. So in fact, there's this saying where I say, if you can donate blood at least once a year, your birthday. So as you're celebrating life, you're also giving life to someone else. I think we'd be in a much better place as a country.
That's it from our interview section of Take on Tech, in which we were speaking to Aaron Ogunde, who is a co-founder of Damu Sasa. And until next time, my name is Grace Githaiga.
In Innovators Club, we bring you a very interesting tech hack, yet very simple, which you can do at home, even if it's just for fun. Check out this DIY hack that we have for you.
for keeping us company. It is now time to draw the curtains. But remember, you can still participate in today's conversation. We are asking you the question, what is cryptocurrency? We want to know your opinions on what you think about this. Talk to us at KBC Channel 1 using the hashtag #TakeOnTech. My personal handle is at Stephanie Ayieta across all social media handles. Let's meet next week, same time, same place. Until then, let's keep it tech. Bye-bye.